On February 6, 2018, Elon Musk, or better known as the real-life Iron Man, launched his car into space. No biggie, just the greatest marketing plot ever. Not to be overshadowed by his own brilliance, there I was, picking my nose, but also thinking of an even better idea. What other space-worthy cars should we launch into space? Here's what I dug up. Oh, before I go on, production cars only. Concept cars always look like spaceships anyways, am I right? Let's go. Number 10. See those fins at the back? They were first seen on V2 prototype rockets and were all the rage in the 50s. Those were the good years, optimistic years. We will move forward. We will go to space. The cars will be flying. No matter what we build, it will have fins on it because space is cool. Just look at the 1959 Eldorado. From the side, it looks like it could float. The rear bumper has 2 fake jet exhausts, and then there are the fins. Biggest ones in the industry ever. It was designed like a flying car, and we should fulfill its destiny by strapping it to a rocket. It is our duty.
Duty means poop. It does.
Number 9. In the 70s, the space age in cars was felt even more, especially after some dudes were seen driving on the moon. Lancia stepped up and quickly responded by showing photos of their newest car driving on Mars. Take that, you nassholes! Okay, that was just a concept car shot in some desert around the block, but there was something to it. The real production Stratos didn't end up so Kevin Spacey looking, but it did take on an environment much harsher than Mars, rallying. Thanks to an incredibly short wheelbase, a Ferrari engine in the middle, and a tall riding body, it was the conqueror of the roughest earthly terrains for 3 years in a row. Next special stage, the Mars. Number 8. The all but forgotten Vector W8 was a complete failure of a car. Badly built, underperforming, and overpriced. However, as a fantasy, it hit all the spots. Its futuristic and heroic wedge-shaped exterior gave it that Flash Gordon aura of invincibility, like it's on a mission to save the galaxy or a princess or something. But even better than that is the cockpit. Open the vertical doors, wait for the imaginary dust to clear out, and then gawk at more buttons than you can count. An electroluminescent status display, thruster-like shifter, and the controls to the mightiest engine bolted right behind your back. It's so brash and so bold, and it so deserves to roam the filthy streets of some galactic city far, far away. Just remember to pack in the fixin' tools as well. Number 7. There are 2 very good reasons why we should launch the Mirai into space. Firstly, it's an electric car powered by hydrogen fuel cells, and that's a good thing because 75% of outer space is hydrogen. It would be like sailing through a sea of fuel forever and ever. The second reason, and a more important one, is that it is so freakishly ugly, we should get it off our planet before it starts laying any eggs. Look at that front! It's like it's having an allergic reaction to peanuts! The back, it seems, has been designed using a kitchen blender, and they even managed to ruin the side with those drooping slits and 80s cabin pillars. It's so disgusting, Bear Grylls would probably eat it. Number 6. This evil-looking Darth Vader's pet squid car is a brainchild of a 25-year-old playboy and an heir to the Heinz ketchup empire, Mr. Rust Heinz. Nothing on the market was flashy and extravagant enough for his taste, so he drew this thing on a piece of napkin and set about to make it. This one definitely stood out, with its body shaped by the wind tunnel, air-conditioned interior, a crash-padded dash, but most of all with the fact that it was a 6-seater, a people carrier. Mr. Heinz could cram up to 5 gold diggers into what is actually a very low car, only 140 centimeters tall. That's about this much. But since there's nothing quite like it on the road, so it might actually be that the Phantom is from outer space. Number 5. There's this startup company from Dubai whose website is full of grammar errors. And it basically says, blah, 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 extreme, blah, blah, inspired by jet fighters, blah, blah, 5,000 horsepower from a quad-turbo V16. Probably a typo. Well, it's not. There are some big names from automotive world involved with this project, chief among which is Steve Morris, a white Gandalf among engine builders. And guess what? They showed an actual V16 behemoth of an engine, and yes, it makes freaking 5,000 horsepower.
Holy shit.
But why would anyone need such power? What could it possibly be used for? All I can think of is a nice runway, a ramp at the other end, and let's see if we can get this thing to reach the stratosphere. Kids, let's try this at home. Number 4. Okay, I might be cheating a little, but I'm not. It's not a concept. It's a one-off production car of some sort, and it was to be NASA's next-gen moon rover. Because it's just a camper van, it doesn't look as much fun as the original, but there is a caveat to it. You can drive around without wearing any pants. Big plus! Sadly, the whole return to the moon mission was canceled after the Congress pulled the funding. Apparently, the Cold War was over, so there's no need to fight about who has a bigger penis-shaped rocket. But we should launch it for a different reason. Who knows what kind of advancements we could get from this endeavor? Maybe better batteries for our cars, or smoother suspension, or maybe even an emergency toilet. Who knows? Number 3. If we're going to shoot one beyond our solar system, we better consider what it says about us. If, those little green ones crash into it, it better represent. Well then, let me present to you the BMW i8, the most futuristic car ever produced. First of all, the looks. Ooh. And now the facts. It's a supercar, 4-seater, hybrid, quick as a horny mosquito, has a 3-cylinder engine that actually sounds good, and quite possibly is the best car ever made. After such demonstration of our technologies, those cow-stealing jerks would surely accept us in their galactic society. Unless maybe they notice that from the back, it looks like it's shitting out a 911. Ew. Number 2. If you thought that Lancia Stratos can drive over Mars, the G63 6x6 could drive over Stratus while it drives over Mars. Let me give you some stats. 530 horsepower, 6-wheel drive, 5 tons, tallest ground clearance of any SUV, bulletproof body, massaging seats. Here's why you need all that when facing a barren planet. Instead of tiptoeing around every nook and cranny at a snail's pace as they do now, just punch through it at high speed. Crush the boulder, leap a mountain, deep in the crater. Actually, when rovers are landing on Mars, they need parachutes and cushions to land softly. This thing probably doesn't need any of that. It would fall out of the sky, engulfed in flames, slam into the planet, crack it, make a big hole, and then crawl out of it. That's the 6x6 way. Number 1. I know, I said no concept cars. But really, this car is a bit more than that. It used to be a concept, but then Ford sold it for only $1 to Hollywood's favorite mechanic, George Barris, who turned it into a 1965 Batmobile. Later on, 12 more replicas were built, so it kind of makes it a production car. And think how crazy that is. A futuristic spaceship-looking concept literally called Futura. One of a kind, forever changed, and used to fight crime under the stars. So here's my brilliant idea. One of these, Batman and Robin, patrolling around our planet, the tune on the radio, elbow in the windows, and an eye on any cow thieves that didn't like that comparison between a 911 and a BMW poop. To the Space Mobile! Agree with the picks? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more interesting videos from Top Cars TV.